Hello, my beautiful duckling. This is Susie, your Swan Queen, and welcome back to the garden. Today I want to talk to you about twin flames, soulmates, spiritual relationships, abusive relationships, and how you can progress on your twin flame relationship kind of easy and quickly. I came up through the ranks of twin flames. I did The Secret. I followed some of the authors that were in The Secret, learned their things, but somehow I fell into the twin flame groups. And then I kept getting added to more twin flame groups and more twin flame groups and more twin flame groups than I even knew existed. I was like everybody else. I typed into Google one day, how do I find my soulmate? And I was just reading all of the different articles. And a week later, I met what I thought was my soulmate. And then I found out he might be my twin flame. And then I was in a bunch of groups. And I have no idea to this day how I got into those groups. But I did. And I learned a lot on that journey about relationships, about twin flames, about soulmates, about spiritual connections. But I also know that a bunch of us who think we're in a twin flame or a soulmate connection or on a spiritual journey are actually in an abusive relationship and need to leave. For those of you who don't know what to do, the twin flame chaser runner dynamic that they teach, it just messes with your head. It truly does. Because if I'm afraid of the relationship, they're afraid of the relationship. If I'm chasing the relationship, they're chasing the relationship. One of you cannot be a runner. One of you cannot be a chaser. You're both doing the same thing because somehow you're connected. There's a Japanese wise tale, and I'm not sure if I'm quoting it specifically right, that says that there is a red thread connected between two people. And when it's time for those two people to meet, they will meet. That thread can be stretched, it can be twisted, it can be knotted, it can bring them together, it can take them further apart, it can be stretched. And then just when you think it can't be stretched anymore, trust me, it can be stretched way more. But when it's time, there's nothing we can do. Some people call it divine timing. Some people call it the universe delivering. Some people call it, connection. And it's just my connection and my time to shine. All of it, it's just hogwash. It really is. It's, again, a selling point. The Bible says 144 twin flames. There are certain twin flame groups that say, oh no, everybody has a twin out there. I think all of us believe a little bit in the one. The one person that you have been with through the beginning of time until the end of time. It's romantic. It's entertainment. It's enthralling to believe that I've had 30 lifetimes and every single one of those lifetimes, that one person's been in that lifetime. Some people say twin flames come together, but they're not meant to be romantic. Some people say that you come together, you learn, you grow, and then bye-bye, but you'll always remain friends. I don't believe any of that. I believe that if you go back to the teachings of the Bible, God created Adam, and then he took a rib from Adam, and he created Eve. That's where twin flames came from. So if I am made from the rib of Jared, that means no matter what, we're connected. That means no matter what, we're going to have some sort of relationship. That means no matter what, we're together. We're one. We eat together. We sleep together. We breathe together. We walk together. We talk together. Even if we're not physically together. We're talking about the other person. We're thinking about the other person. And then we're thinking that there's something wrong with us. I got a secret. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. absolutely, positively nothing wrong with you. Everybody is growing and learning. It's like we never got out of school. We're constantly growing, we're constantly learning. And when you are in a relationship, relationships grow, they change, they evolve, they go forward 5 steps, and then sometimes you get back not 20. That's normal life. But when you bring in the title of a twin flame, a soulmate, a spiritual connection, it romanticizes that relationship. Nobody can tell you that that person is not your twin. Nobody can tell you that it's not your soulmate. If somebody says that's your karmic, you're supposed to learn from them and then move on to your true twin flame. Don't listen to them. I'm going to tell you what you need to listen to, your heart. Because in your heart, you can love a person and then you can love a person. And if you've been in relationships, you know what I mean. If you love somebody with every fiber of your being, every thought, every step, every waking moment, every sleeping moment, the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning is think of this person. The last thing you do when you fall asleep is think of that person. You have a connection. Call it whatever you want. A connection, you have it, they have it. If I'm thinking about Jared, Jared's thinking about me. If I'm thinking about my daughter's thinking about me. If I'm thinking about a certain coaching client, a certain friend, a stranger that I haven't seen for a while, the reason they cross our paths is because we were thinking about them and they were thinking about us. And you know I'm telling the truth, because let's think about it. You bumped into this person, they're like, man, I was just thinking about you. Really? I was thinking about you too. How you doing? That's usually how the conversation starts. I've seen a lot of them when I was working in retail. But you want to progress your twin flame relationship from what the twin flame groups deem runner, chaser. Stop. Stand still. Be still. Take 100 deep breaths. Get out a pen and a piece of paper. This is a little bit of homework today. I don't like giving homework. It's just not fun. And I want you to write down everything you love about that person who you think is your twin flame or your soulmate. Absolutely everything you love about that person. And then I want you to 3 times a day read that list of everything you love about that person, because you are moving that energy, that connection, that dynamic, the vortex. I'm going to have to come up with a word for this crazy blob that everybody likes to title it. I'm going to start calling it your story. You're changing your story. Because if you are reading on a piece of paper all of the things that you love about this person, your focus is on loving this person. Your focus is on being with this person. My success rate as a coach is through the twin flame community, the specific person community. I'm trying to think about how many people I've actually gotten together, and I know I do 98 out of 100. But I've actually thought this morning, how many have I not gotten together? So over the years, I've probably worked with 1,000 people, and all but 3 of them have gotten back together. And the relationships have been really, really amazing, unless they didn't add a few little words, which I persist in saying you need to add when you're rebuilding this relationship. So if I have 1,000 people and only 3 aren't together, I'll tell you why those 3 aren't together. They won't change their story. It's simple. You can't sit there and continually feed the bad wolves and expect the story to change. You have to persist that the story is changing, and this is now what I'm creating. So by writing a list of everything you love about that person, and you're looking at that list 3 times a day, you're starting to change your story, because you're focusing on love. You're focusing on that person, and you're focusing on how that person makes you feel. So when you first meet somebody and you have a connection, you come in and bam, it's like a magnet. That magnet, it's like the strongest magnet in the world. It's what holds the universe together. And you can't pull that magnet apart no matter how much you think you can. People say cut the cords, let it go. It frustrates me because everybody's goal in life is to have that love story that is written about in the books and in the movies. So you met Prince Charming or Princess Charming. You're in chaos if you're not together. How do we get out of chaos? It's focusing forward. It is taking that list, writing down all the things you love about that person so that you're redirecting your focus to love that person, to what you thought was amazing about that person. And you're recreating that person. So that's the person you met at the beginning of the relationship, before chaos, before that first argument. That's the person that you talked to that looked you in the eyes and made you feel like you were the only person in the world. To move that next step, to go from being in a twin flame chaos, or separation as they call it, I call it chaos. To get out of chaos, we have to create that new story. So we have an amazing relationship. We have an amazing connection. They're thinking about me. I'm thinking about them. I'm thinking about them. They're thinking about me. And we're rolling that ball of what we want. It's like taking a rubber band and you start a little rubber band ball. The first couple rubber bands, they don't go together. Screw that. Go to the store and buy a starter ball. Buy a starter rubber band ball. And then get a box of rubber bands. You take everything you like about that person and you add it to that starter ball. Because that starter ball is love. You love that person for some reason. So we're going to take this little starter ball of rubber bands and we're going to add each one of those things that you love about that person. And then we're going to add to that ball everything you want that person to be in your life. You want them to be romantic. You want them to be loving. You want them to appreciate you. You want them to be a great communicator, an amazing cook. You want them to write you poems. You want them to write you 5-page love letters. You want them to go about thinking of you as this amazing person. There's another rubber band on the ball. And you're going to keep adding these things to that list. So get a notebook and just start writing them, or actually get a rubber band ball. And every time you think about them, something nice, put it on the rubber band ball. Each one of those rubber bands are going to build your faith that this is an amazing relationship. And it is going to give you something that you can look at or physically hold to say, I have an amazing relationship with this person. And look at all these rubber bands. That's why. It's the same thing with the jar. You can take and write down everything you love about this person and put it in a jar. You can take everything you love about this person and the characteristics you want about that person and add that to the jar. Everything they do that's nice for you, add it to the jar. Because you're changing your story from, I love this person and he's an asshole and he's ignoring me and I'm in silent treatment and I don't know what to do to get his attention, but I don't want to blow up his phone anymore. So I'm going to change me, and I'm going to change the way I view the relationship. And this is what you do to view the relationship in this amazing love story that you're wanting to create. It is possible that you could talk to him like that. It is truly 100% possible. I'm not going to say it's not. But until that click comes inside of you where you totally feel that they are yours 100%, and you can literally just walk around and say, thank God this person is in my life, there's going to be the push and pull. The push and pull is you. It's, do they love me? I don't know. Do they love me? I don't know. Why do they love me? Because, well, they're not showing it because, and we're going back and forth. And because we're going back and forth and we're taking this rubber band and we're bouncing it on the ground going, you know, I'm not really sure, what do I need to do to change this? You're not going to change it. But if you are over here and you're building this rubber band and you're putting this band, and every time you think of them, you put another ball, a rubber band on the ball. Every time you think something nice, put a rubber band on the ball. We're changing the way that you view them, but we're also changing the way they see you. If they see you as a beautiful, loving person who's going to enrich their life, they're going to come back. If they see you as this psycho chick who's just all over the fling, they're not going to come back. And they're not going to come back not because they don't want to be around you, they don't want the drama. When you go home at the end of the day, you want the love of your life to be enriching your life, supporting your life, growing in your dreams. You don't want the love of your life to be mirroring you to have a huge argument about everybody is you pushed down and you're running from me and you're not talking to me. No. Your twin flame relationship is difficult because you're telling that story. Your twin flame relationship is frustrating because you think there's something wrong with you and all of these people are telling you there's something wrong with you. The only thing that is wrong is if this is a twin flame relationship and Minion Dave is God, and God says you two are to be together absolutely, positively, 100%, no matter what. So Minion Dave looks at me and goes, Susie, you guys are going to be together. I promise you you're going to be together. It's just not the time. Well, what do you mean it's not the time? It's just not the time. Well, I don't understand. What do I need to do? You don't need to do anything. But the reason it's not the time is because you're creating chaos. It's because you're creating a story about the pictures being tragic. I don't paint when I'm stressed. Because when I paint when I'm stressed, I look at that and I go, I was having a really bad day and that painting's just horrible. This one. It's Twin Peaks. I painted it on a July day where somebody that I dearly love is no longer here. It's two peaks. Somebody said it's a twin flame painting. No, actually it's me and Russ. Because Russ was like a big brother to me. Saved my life multiple times. He's the reason my daughter walks today. And that painting reminds me that he's always there, even though he's not here on Earth anymore. This painting had a sun on it. Instead of a log falling over the top of the waterfall, I had a log. The correlation between these paintings is water. And it's constantly flowing. And all of that water is flowing towards me. Now it's going to go around me and it's going to move forward. So when I'm taking those water paintings and I'm pulling them forward towards me, what words am I throwing into the stream? What thoughts am I throwing into the stream? Where is my focus? If I'm on a twin flame focus and I'm talking about running from me, well, now that water's pushing him away from me. But if I'm talking about, you know, everything works out for us, this relationship is fun and easy, I can take that twin flame runner dynamic, chasing, babble, and throw it out, and it's going to move away from me. It's going to go around me, and it's going to go somewhere down the creek, bye-bye. Now, if I'm standing underneath those waterfalls, I'm getting drenched, soaking wet, totally engulfed in water where I can't even see straight. And that's what happens when we're in a twin flame relationship. We can't see straight. So you have to take 10 steps forward, get out of the waterfall, turn around, and look at what you've created and what you've seen and decide if you want to stay in that drowning waterfall or if you want to walk away from it. Walking away from it isn't giving up your twin flame. Walking away from it is saying, I'm done with the drama. I'm done with the crap. I'm done with all of this running, chasing. I'm going to be still and know that if I'm in a twin flame dynamic, this was ordained by God. It was set in the works before I was even born. There's a reason I'm in this relationship, and I'm just going to start floating on the water, and I'm just going to breathe, and I'm going to breathe life into the relationship the way I want that relationship to be. So if I'm breathing life into a twin flame relationship, and we all know that's one fetish, so I'm going to breathe life into this relationship. I'm not going to tell my swan that you're horrible, that you're ugly. I'm going to tell my swan that you're beautiful, you're graceful, you are loyal, loving, and very protective. Because swans are very protective. They will kill you if you mess with their mate without even batting an eye. They will become evil. And that's what relationships have become today. They have become this runner, this chaser, this, you're in an abusive relationship, a narcissist relationship, a sociopath, the person is bipolar. Take a child, innocent baby, and as that little baby is growing up, this is your twin flame relationship. You're telling this baby nothing they do is right. Your mother doesn't love you, and I don't understand why your mother doesn't love you. Your mother doesn't want to be around you. Your mother just dumped you on me. Your mother just doesn't care about you. The only thing your mother cares about is herself. And then the child grows up, and the child is angry, and you wonder why that child is angry. Well, the story you've been feeding this child is they're abandoned, they're not wanted, they're not loved. And that's what twin flame relationships do. We teach you that you are broken and you're not loved. That's not true. People love people no matter what. People love narcissists, and they are selfish, inconsiderate, egotistical, arrogant, and 100% about themselves. We love our twin flames because they show us a feeling, a thought, an idea of something that is so incredibly beautiful that we need to go back and reprogram that child to believe that love exists, that fairy tales exist, that they are blessed. It is God's will. It is beyond beautiful. That's where that phrase comes, in the middle of a storm, God sends you a love story. That love story is your twin flame, and then we reject it because we're in the middle of a storm. So if you want to get with your twin, stop rejecting yourself. Write that list of all the things you love about that person, and then start telling a story about how God gave me this incredible love story, and I'm going to thrive in this love story. I'm going to take this love story and explode it across the universe. I'm going to get out my book, and I'm going to write down every day an amazing thing that happened between me and my twin. Even if this didn't happen, you're creating it. So every day, you're going to go at the end of your day. Last night, I had dinner with my daughter. Absolutely wonderful dinner. She made fried chicken and garlic mashed potatoes. I love her garlic mashed potatoes. I have no idea who taught this child how to make garlic mashed potatoes. I've been trying for years. I can't do it, but my daughter can. And she's even let me help her do it. I do the same thing she does. I think she's a Marie, and there's a secret ingredient she doesn't show me. And when I turn my back, she dumps it in there. Swear to God. She tells me no. But it's Everybody Loves Raymond, and it's Marie. We know she did it. That's what we're doing with our twin flames. We're mashing the potatoes, and we're counting all the lumps, instead of what's the secret ingredient. The secret ingredient is actually love. Savannah loves making me garlic mashed potatoes because she knows I love them. She tells me yesterday, I'm making fried chicken. I'm like, are you making garlic mashed potatoes too? She goes, yes. And this was, back up, What are you doing for dinner tonight, Mom? Oh, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Well, I was going to make dinner tonight. What are you making? Fried chicken? Really? Garlic mashed potatoes? If I have the energy. I'm like, if you have the energy, okay, I'll make the chicken and the potatoes, but you have to make them garlic. And she goes, we could do that. She goes, but I've been craving fried chicken, so I'm going to make fried chicken. Well, I could go write my diary at the end of the day, and I could say, Dear Diary, I had the most amazing dinner with my daughter and the love of my life and her boyfriend, and little one was just happily playing and watching Ryan on YouTube and eating her fried chicken at the coffee table. I took an amazing evening, and according to my diary, I just made it even more amazing. So we're changing the dynamics. We're no longer talking about running and chasing. We're no longer talking about silent treatment. We're no longer talking about whether or not that person is a chatty Cathy. We're involving that person in our life. We're creating this person being there. We're creating them supportive. Now, I'm not saying actually set a place for that person because that makes you look crazy. I'm saying recreate your days. Talk about why this relationship is amazing. Because if you are in a twin flame relationship and you're talking about, well, you know, we were together and it didn't work out and we broke up, but we still love each other and we're always going to be in each other's lives, that's not what you really want, guys. What you really want is to wake up every morning with that person and go to bed every night with that person. I can't do that with my twin flame because my twin flame works part of a graveyard shift. You can't work from 5 a.m. to 3 a.m., 5 p.m. to 3 a.m. and go to sleep every night together. It doesn't work. You can't work 11 to 7 and go to bed with your twin. You can't work 7 to 5:30 and they work, 5 to 3 a.m. You can't work from 10 to 7, 9 to 7:30, and then they're working till 7 to 7 a.m. and go to bed with them 7 nights a week. It doesn't work. But you have to create a story that fits into your reality. So if you take their hours, they're working graveyard. Well, can I get on graveyard or can I manifest them being on the day shift? Can I get on, mid shifts? So at least when he comes home, I have time to have breakfast with him and spend a couple of hours before he crashes to go to work. I come home, I get to see him, for a late dinner because even if he's working 5 to 5, he's going to get a dinner hour. If he's working 11 to 7, you're probably going to be asleep. Fit them in your life. Create that story about your twin flame that says it is a loving, romantic, out of this world, off the charts story of an amazing love. That's what The Notebook did. Make your twin flame relationship The Notebook. Go watch The Notebook. Honest to God, there's a movie and it's called In Your Eyes. That's been my whole life. I hear things that I shouldn't hear. I see things that just don't make sense. I mean, one day I got smacked and somebody said, I was at work. Susie, who smacked you across the face? Nobody smacked me across the face. But I had a big red handprint. Where did it come from? I don't know. Weird things happen when you think you're in a twin flame relationship. That's normal. That's off the charts. But you don't have to make it hard. You don't have to make it a runner, a chaser. You don't have to make it chaos. Study Neville and take your twin flame relationship and go to Neville because at the end, they're together. And Neville says, go to the end and persist in the assumption until it hardens into fact that you two are the most happily unmarried couple in the world. You are the happiest married couple in the world. You are the happiest dating couple in the world. Somebody is celebrating 37 years together today. Or was it this week? And that's Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. They have been together for 37 years. They're not married. but they're the happiest unmarried couple in Hollywood. What love story do you want to create? Because just because they give it a twin flame title doesn't mean it has to be difficult. It should be fun, easy, and adventurous. And if you're buying into the dynamics, it's not true. It's not true. Every manifestation has its birthing point, and it may just be that you're not at that birth. You might still be in the gestation period. And in a twin flame relationship, you can change that gestation period to create that birth. It's all about the stories you tell and how much you really truly want to be with that person. Because twin flames come together after a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. The Bible talks about stories 50 years out. It's all on you and what you decide you want that twin flame relationship to be. My success rate in getting them back together is absolutely amazing. So when I tell you to throw out the dynamics that they teach and decide what you want and focus only on what you want, that's how I used to get them back together. It's how I still get them back together, because I get you to change your concept of the relationship. I get you in the state of being happily married. Married means somebody else is in your life and two become one. If you want to marry your twin, don't follow the twin flame dynamics, because that's not how you get there. Change your story. Ask better questions. Read your list, because that's going to change you and the way you see that relationship, so you can have that dream life with your twin. I love you. Have an amazing day. Hit the like button, subscribe, and tell me why you have the most amazing twin flame relationship.